Hello again, everyone. It's Doug Sharp here in the War Room, and it is my pleasure to provide for you what we call a mission review. Now, this is something that we normally do on Mondays here in the War Room, but a mission review segment here on the National Leadership Briefing was an excellent idea. So I thought we'd record it right from the War Room itself. Now, as you know, we set up the War Room because we needed a place to execute the strategies for those opportunities we wanted to capitalize that we see on the horizon. So that's why War Room exists, and you're in the NLB War Room Canada with a goal here along with us to advance and hold whatever ground we secure in any of the different operations we execute as part of our overall plan. Now, first and foremost, as part of the mission review, I want to clarify something, and that is that this is the mission, but it is part of a 2-year plan that we're executing within a political party. Now, there are other missions and things that we do, but this is one that is about influencing the outcome of the leadership contest within the Conservative Party of Canada. So Operation Red Flag has been designed specifically to meet that mission objective of us having maximum influence in the outcome of that race. So all of the goals, all of the plans, everything that we do daily, all of the training and drilling that we do is all centered around achieving that ultimate goal of installing into office the person who is going to lead that party. Now, why is it that we want to do that? If you're not aware of it, let me just quickly explain why. The leader of the Conservative Party of Canada would be the leader of Her Majesty's loyal opposition in the House of Commons. That means that whatever the current government of the day, the Liberal government of the day at the federal level is doing, it is the leader of the Her Majesty's loyal opposition and the opposition Conservatives that are going to be holding the government to account for what happens. Well, if there's somebody in the House of the Commons holding our current government to account that is going to be elected, we want to have a say on who that person is, and we want to make certain that they see the world through our lens, through the lens of the 4 pillars. And so that is why the National Leadership Briefing wanted to have a part of this. The second reason why we're engaging in this process with the ferocity that we are is that we know that as leader of Her Majesty's loyal opposition, it's quite likely that the next prime minister of our nation will be this individual. As the pendulum swings back and forth between federals and liberals governments over the years, we always know that there's going to be a time where it comes back to the Conservative Party of Canada, and they will lead again. And so if we're going to be electing a leader of a party that could possibly become the prime minister of our nation, again, we want to be a part of that conversation. We want to use this as an opportunity to advance our views and values into the conversation that's taking place. Now, again, I want to stress that we're not here because winning a political contest is a priority. We're here because we know that these individuals in these high offices make decisions every single day that are either going to negatively or positively impact the lives of our neighbor. And we are called to love our neighbor. It makes no better sense to me than to be engaged in this process as we are right now. And I can, with a clear conscience, say getting involved in a partisan political activity at this moment in time is extremely wise to do. So that's why we're engaging. Now, let me tell you quickly about what Operation Red Flag is. Operation Red Flag is the plan that we're executing from 50 days ago, about 55 days ago, all the way up to September the 10th, and it's broken into 3 categories. The first stage, which is the R in red, is the recruitment stage. And we are recruiting as many people as we can touch between now and June the 3rd to become members of the Conservative Party of Canada. Why? Because on June the 3rd, the membership cutoff date is going to take place. And that means that anybody who has a membership up until that day is going to be eligible to receive a ballot in the mail to vote for the leader of the party. But if you don't have your ballot in place by June the 3rd, then you will have zero influence in the outcome of this contest. And we want your influence in the contest. We want to work with you. We want you to add your voice to ours, and we want us all to be getting ballots, because the second stage is the equipping stage. The equipping stage is the period of time where I bring the candidates to you and introduce them to you, and they have an opportunity to share their views and values with you. And if you feel that your views and values are aligned with theirs, then you've got someone you can vote for. Now, there's one other thing that we're going to be doing And that is because there's so many of us all across the country that are engaged in this process, people just like you and I, we're going to be using our combined influence to negotiate the things that we want from each of the candidates as well. We're going to be negotiating with them that they make platform commitments, not promises, commitments as to things that they can do specifically to accommodate the people that we are representing. Basically, we're all together representing different principles, but we want them to address them. So we might want to see something about parental authority or right of belief, the protection of freedom of religion, or providing additional protections for vulnerable citizens in our community. But we want to be able to speak with a unified voice during that equipping stage and negotiate with each of the candidates. And then finally, the third stage is the deployment stage in Operation Red Flag. And that is the period of time when we know the ballots are starting to come out from the party. They're being mailed to all of us. Well, we want to make sure that 100% of those ballots that we receive are returned and accepted in a very accountable and readable fashion. Sometimes people don't handle their ballots properly and their ballots end up getting destroyed or they end up getting disqualified. Well, we're not going to have any of our ballots disqualified because we're going to be doing very specific training during the deployment stage to make sure your ballot gets back to the party and is counted with the rest of them. So thank you so much for letting me explain Operation Red Flag to you. The mission review, it's very important. We do it every single Monday on the social media platforms. What I'm going to encourage you to do is, because there's only so few Mondays left between now and June the 3rd, I'm going to encourage you to go online to the YouTube channel or the Facebook page, and I'll make sure that there are links to that in the post briefing notes today. But go in there, find those videos in the archives, and start sending them out to the people that you know in your sphere of influence. You know, you're the only person that can touch the people that are in your sphere of influence. We don't know them. You're the only one that can. So we want to make sure that everyone that you know also has the opportunity to participate like you do now. So, okay. So first thing, let me leave you one last thing before we go. I'll wrap it up with this. You got to get yourself squared away first. If you don't have your membership in the Conservative Party of Canada yet, you need to get that done. And Doug will tell you exactly how to do that. That other guy, the other Doug, he'll tell you exactly how to do that. But make sure you get that done, because when you speak as a person who has already done what you're asking other people to do, there's so much confidence that comes across in your voice. And that's probably what you're sensing in my voice today, because I've got a 5-year membership in the Conservative Party of Canada, because I know I'm going to be asking you to get at least a 2-year membership. So I'm going to be twice as committed as you. How about that? So I challenge you to run and keep up in the race with me. If you want, go for the 5-year, but you definitely need a 2-year, because we are working a 2-year plan, and we do want to be working alongside of you and develop this for a long time to come. Anyway, thank you so much for your time today. I'll let you get back to what you're doing, and I'll look forward to serving you in the war room in the future. Bye for now.
Once every year, the 11th month, on the 11th day at the 11th hour, we stand in unity to commemorate the end of World War I and to honor the great sacrifice of those who fought to preserve our freedoms. In Flanders fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row. O Canada, are you still a country worth dying for? Do we honor our fallen heroes? What were their hopes, dreams, and aspirations? Did they believe that we should be free to raise our children the way we want? Did they give their lives to defend our right of belief and freedom of religion? Did they consider Canada to be a place that would protect the citizens, especially the vulnerable? Was freedom truly worth dying for? That we should not be enslaved by massive debt heaped upon our children? Yes, these freedoms were worth dying for. Today, we continue to honor those who serve our country, lest we forget and fall victim to a tyranny that is eager to rise once again. Yesterday's freedoms were worth dying for. Do we now call them privileges only for them to be taken away? Oh Canada, what is freedom worth today? Lest we forget and no longer stand on guard. Do we wear poppy while paving a road of oppression right through Flanders fields? No. We wear poppy because we remember them. We stand with their brothers and sisters in arms, and we honor them by preserving the freedoms that they fought to preserve. World War I was deemed the war to end all wars, but we know this was not the last of wars. To this day, brave men and women take a stand, and we stand with them. We stand on guard with those who choose to sacrifice their well-being to preserve our freedoms. We don't forget why we wear poppy while we're wearing a poppy. We remember. Come on, Canada, now is the time more than ever. Stand up and wear your poppy proud, lest we forget.